Hello, everyone. There is a lesson that many people spend most of their lives trying to learn. It sounds simple. It should be obvious. And yet, for so many of us, it takes years, sometimes decades, before we finally understand it. The lesson is this: the only love worth having is love that comes back to you, not love that you have to fight for. Not love that you have to explain. Not love that leaves you waiting, wondering, and worrying at 2 in the morning. Real love, the only kind that truly deserves that name, is love where the other person feels exactly the same way about you as you feel about them. This is called reciprocal love. Reciprocal means that it goes both ways. You give, and they give. You are present, and they are present. You care, and they care, equally, naturally, without you having to ask. Today we are going to talk about why so many people never find this kind of love, why they spend years, sometimes their whole lives, accepting something much less, and what it means to finally decide that you deserve better. Think about this situation. Maybe it sounds familiar to you. You send a message to someone you love. A simple message. Something like, "Hey, how are you? Haven't heard from you in a few days," and then you wait. 1 hour passes, then 2. Then the whole day. You pick up your phone and look at it. You put it down. You pick it up again. You start to think, did I say something wrong? Are they okay? Maybe they're just busy. You find reasons, explanations, excuses for them, not for yourself. The next morning, you wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone. Still nothing. If you recognize this feeling, you are not alone. Millions of people around the world know exactly what this feels like. The anxiety, the uncertainty, the way your whole emotional state depends on one small notification. But here is the important question. Is this love? Or is this something else entirely? For many of us, the way we think about love was shaped very early in our lives, in childhood, in our families, in the homes where we grew up. Some people grew up in homes where love was warm and consistent, where they felt safe, seen, and valued, where the adults around them showed, through their actions, that love is something stable, something you don't have to earn every single day. But many other people grew up in a very different environment. Maybe love in their childhood home was unpredictable. Sometimes it was there, warm and close, and other times it disappeared without explanation. Maybe they had to work hard to get attention. Maybe they had to be very good, very quiet, or very perfect to feel accepted. When a child grows up in this kind of environment, something important happens inside them. Their understanding of love becomes confused. They begin to believe, without even realizing it, that love is supposed to feel uncertain. That if love feels safe and easy, maybe it isn't real love. That the feeling of chasing someone, of trying to win their attention, of not being completely sure that this is what love feels like. And so, as adults, they find themselves attracted to exactly this kind of relationship. They fall in love with people who are a little distant, a little hard to reach, people who make them feel that they need to prove something. The relationship is painful, but it feels familiar, and familiar can feel like home, even when home was not a safe place. We often use the word complicated to describe relationships that don't work well. It's complicated, we say. They have a lot going on. They've been hurt before. They need time. They find it hard to express their feelings. And we wait, patiently, with enormous understanding and sympathy. We give them time. We give them space. We give them chance. after chance. But here is a hard truth that is worth sitting with. There is no such thing as a legitimately complicated relationship. The truth is much simpler than we want to believe. Either the other person is there, fully, consistently, genuinely, or they are not. Either they value you, or they don't. Either they choose you, clearly and without hesitation, or they are not the right person for you. This doesn't mean that people don't have problems, or pain, or difficult histories. Of course they do. Everyone does. But their problems are not your responsibility to fix, and their inability to love you properly is not something you can solve by loving them more. You cannot love someone into loving you back. When we are in a relationship that is not right for us, we often see the signs very clearly, and then we choose not to look at them. We notice that they take a very long time to reply to simple messages. We tell ourselves they are busy. We notice that they seem interested in other people. We tell ourselves we are being insecure. We notice that we always have to explain why our feelings matter, why our needs are reasonable, why we deserve basic kindness. We tell ourselves that communication is just difficult for them. We notice that we feel more alone when we are with them than when we are by ourselves. But we stay because leaving feels like failure. Here are some clear signs that a relationship is not right for you. These are not opinions. These are not suggestions. They are facts about what you deserve. If they are still deciding whether they want to be with you, leave. If they regularly take hours or days to reply to simple messages, leave. If they are giving their attention, their flirting, their energy to other people, leave. If you have to make arguments, give reasons, and explain why they should want to be with you, leave. If they have emotional problems that stop them from being kind or present with you, and things are not getting better, leave. If they are not proud of you, genuinely, openly proud, leave. If you have already given them several chances and nothing has changed, leave. And when we say leave, we mean completely. Not leave, but still check their social media. Not leave, but stay friends, just in case. Not leave, but keep a small door open in your heart. Leave means that they are no longer part of your daily thoughts, your emotional energy, or your life. It means you close the door completely, not with anger, but with clarity, with respect for yourself. When people are in a relationship that doesn't work, they often give themselves reasons to stay, reasons that feel very important, but actually are not. We've been together for 5 years. I can't just walk away. We have a good time together sometimes. The good moments are really good. The physical connection is strong. That has to mean something. I find them so intelligent, so beautiful. I've never met anyone like them. These things are real. They matter in some ways. But they are not love, not on their own. 5 years of history doesn't create love if the love was never truly there. Beautiful moments don't compensate for months of feeling invisible. Physical connection is not the same as emotional presence, and finding someone attractive or interesting is not the same as them treating you well. None of these things, not the years, not the memories, not the physical feelings, not the admiration, none of them are enough reason to accept a relationship where you are not fully valued. Here is what real love looks like. It is not dramatic. It is not a constant battle. It is not the feeling of finally winning someone's attention after working very hard for it. Real love feels calm. It feels safe. You don't wonder if they like you because they show you clearly that they do. You don't worry about whether they will reply because they always do. not because they have to, but because they want to. You don't feel the need to perform, to be perfect, to prove your value, because they already see it. In real love, two people feel genuinely lucky to have found each other. They are not perfect. They have problems, difficulties, bad days. But underneath all of that, there is a constant feeling. I am glad this person is in my life. I am glad they chose me. I am glad I chose them. This is not a fantasy. This is not too much to ask for. This is simply what love looks like when it is healthy. And yet, for some of us, this description feels almost strange, almost suspicious. If it's that easy, can it really be love, we wonder? Shouldn't love feel harder than this? No, it shouldn't. If love has always felt hard, that is not because love is hard. It is because somewhere along the way, we learn to confuse pain with love. We learn to feel most alive when we are anxious, most connected when we are uncertain, most passionate when we are afraid of losing someone. This is not love. This is a wound that is never properly healed. The journey toward real love begins not with finding the right person, but with making a decision about yourself. The decision is this: I am on my own side now. Not in an arrogant way, not in a cold way, but in the way that a good parent is on their child's side, with warmth, with care, with a simple and firm belief that you matter, that your needs are real, that you deserve to be treated well. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, but always. Most people in the world will not think you are extraordinary, and that is completely fine. That is how life works. Not everyone will see your value, and you don't need everyone to. But the person you love, the person you share your life with, that person needs to see it. Fully, consistently, without any doubt when you finally find that person, or when you finally allow yourself to stay with that person, instead of running toward the ones who make you feel uncertain. Something will change inside you. The anxiety will quiet down. The waiting will stop. The late-night messages, the wondering, the hoping, the explaining, all of it will stop. And in its place, you will feel something that might be unfamiliar at first, something simple and steady and good. You will feel at home, not in a place, not in a city or a house, but in a relationship, in a connection, in the presence of another person who looks at you and thinks, yes, you. I choose you every day without hesitation. That is love. That is the only love worth having. And you will know you have truly understood this, not just in your mind, but in your heart. On the day when anything less than this feels completely unacceptable to you. Not because you are difficult, not because you are demanding, but because you have finally, after all this time, learned what you deserve, and you are never going back. Thank you for listening. Take your time with English. Every word you understand is a step forward. See you in the next video.